All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back at the BAMC Showcast here. This is part three of our Remembering Ken Kiff Payne episode. My guest needs no introduction, but he's going to get one. Was the frontman of the Hate Campaign with Ken, frontman of Pantera 333, Cowboys from Hell Paso. He owns Texas Promotion Concerts, Rockhouse Dive Bar Venue, Headline Tours, Diablos, Texas Dive Bar Kitchen, El Paso Dive Bar Kitchen, Lone Star Dispensaries, The Goat Live, TPA Bus, King's Custom Print Shop. I think he owned a meal prep company at 1.2. Also El Diablo Musica. Ladies and gentlemen, my honor to introduce to you Matteo Martinez. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing okay.
All right, so we all lost a good friend, Kiff Payne. Before we get started, there's one question I want to ask you, and actually Vega brought up. How did he get the nickname Kiff?
Uh, Honestly, man, I really don't know. I know when we were all together in the hate campaign, uh, there was a guy that hung around with us a lot, and he would always call him Kiff, and we would, you know, basically we just all kind of just jumped on that bandwagon with Kiffy, and after that, Dan, rest in peace himself, Danny was the drummer and who's no longer with us either. He started calling him Kiffer, and that kind of evolved into Kiffy and all these other little nicknames that we started giving him. And I mean, from what I recall, that's kind of how it started.
Yeah, because Vega brought up last night, and he's like, "How did he get the nickname?" Because I've heard only I always hear you and Vega call him that, but everyone else calls him Ken.
Yeah, everybody else knows him as Ken, I guess, because that's his professional name. And us people who've known Kiff for a long, long time, I knew Kiff for over 27 years.
Yeah, how did you guys
Not in
first
my
meet?
adult life.
I mean, were you guys friends prior to Hate Campaign, or how did you guys first link up?
Just the scene, the music scene. We all played in different bands, and we all kind of interchanged members and stuff like that, and people knew who was doing what as far as uh, band membership, and we'd all go to different clubs and watch each other play. And when we originally started the Hate campaign, uh, it was myself and it was a side project of Joe Razor, Pissing Razors Joe, and Matt Lynch, Pissing Razors. And we started this side project, and that's what it was. And it wasn't, we weren't going to really do anything with it. And we wrote some songs, and they kind of kicked ass and kind of caught on. A lot of people kind of dug it. We played our first live show, and these guys were in attendance. And Matt and Joe were really busy with Pissing Razors, and they were about to get signed, and they were about to explode and do their thing. So it's kind of just left.
So this is 1995ish, or what was the timeline here?
This was in like '97, I believe. This was in like '97, I believe, because Pissing Razors was about to get signed, and they kind of left the ball in my court and just said, do what you want to do. If you want to do this, get some members, and that's kind of how it happened, man. I recruited Dave and Eric, who at the time were in a death metal band, and they were all about it. They heard the music, they were all about it. And then we approached Kiff at the Rainbow Lounge. It was an old club that was on Dyer. They used to have live music, and Kiff was playing there one night with a cover band, and we just knew that guy was going to fit what we wanted to do, and we asked him, and he agreed to it. And I don't remember how we got Danny, the drummer. I think Eddie or Matt Lynch was the one that kind of put us in his direction, or pointed us in his direction, because Matt played with him in another band before he played with Pissing Razors, and that's kind of how it all started, man. And we all got together in a room, and the vibe was there, and we all had a great time, and the brotherhood was there, which was really important. We all got along with each other, and there was really no drama or big heads or anything. Everybody wanted the same goals. Everybody liked the music, and then that was it. There was a campaign.
Yeah, the brotherhood's crucial. I mean, some bands, I mean, they don't. Or some bands, you have a decent band, but then for whatever reason, pettiness gets in the way.
Yeah.
I'm glad that wasn't the case with you
It
guys.
was insane because the string section was always a string section. We went through probably 3 or 4 drummers. 4 drummers. We went through 4 drummers. We went through 4 drummers, but the string section always stayed the same. Kiff and Eric were insane. They were so tight with their playing, and their musicianship was so good when they wrote songs. And Dave as well, man. It was just a very tight foundation with the strings for sure.
Now, how many albums you guys put out? Like, how many years? I mean, I didn't move to El Paso in 2010, so obviously I've missed a lot of these early scene days.
Gang was together from early '98 to about 2001 when Eric passed away. Eric was the first member of the band that passed away. He died tragically in a car accident.
Yeah.
And that was in 2001. And then Danny died. And then, unfortunately, Kiff is gone now. So just myself and Dave are the surviving members. It's kind of crazy because
it's depressing, dude. I'm sorry.
It really is, man. I gotta sit and wonder if we have a little curse on us or something, because everything that's going on with me and Dave is out in the mountains in New Mexico somewhere, kind of off in his own little world. He's not. I don't know. He's doing his own thing.
Is he still jamming or is he on his own, or is he just?
No, I'll just leave it at that. He's kind of in his own little world.
Gotcha.
And I know he's still creating music, and I know he's still doing stuff, but he's doing his own thing. That's just basically it. Crazy thing about it was I got sick last year, and nobody really knew about it because I didn't want to make it public, and it was a very personal thing for me. And when I did make it public, Kiff knew what I was going through right away. He knew when I spoke to him with the verbiage that I was speaking to him with, and what I was going through. He knew right away, so he would always check on me. He'd always inbox me, or he was always like, "Hey man, how you doing? I just want to see if you're all right. Checking in, whatever." And the last few times that I spoke to him, I wasn't doing too well, and he reached out to me and said, "I want to go see you, whatever," and he did. And we talked about me getting better so we could do a reunion. And he had already reached out to several individuals that were musicians in the local scene, and they all agreed. So the ball was already moving. He had already gone out and handpicked who he wanted to do this with us, and started getting together with them and started doing things like that. So that was the plan for 2024, was me getting better and well enough to do something for the band. It was crazy because we just had spoken about it, and we both said, "Yeah, we're gonna do it, man." I am sitting on a bunch of tracks that were never released publicly.
You said 13, right?
Close to 13, yeah. That were never released publicly. They were all recorded, and we were gonna do something with them. And I told him, let's do something with this stuff, and he agreed. He said, "Yeah, man." And he had gone to my benefit that they had at the Rockhouse.
And that's not.
And he had a bunch of material that he wanted to give me. Old hate campaign stuff. Like, I think it was like a t-shirt, and a bunch of pictures and articles and all this stuff that he wanted me to have. And it's kind of crazy, man, that it just kind of ended up this way. You know, we had made the plans, we had decided that this was what we were going to do, and we were going to shoot for later on in the summertime to make it really, really happen. And then unfortunately, it's never going to happen again. Still thinking about maybe releasing some of the old stuff.
But you still have the previous albums, right? I mean, you have hard copies. I'm sure you have CDs in your trunk somewhere.
I do. I have 2 CDs of some of the old stuff. It's kind of crazy, man. I listened to some of this stuff the other night, and I couldn't believe how it would keep up with the stuff that's out right now. It really would.
I want to hear this stuff. You keep teasing
The
me
Lamb of Gods, and the you know, it was. I think we were a little before our time because we had some bangers, man. We had some heavy shit, heavy music that we wrote, and it was very skillfully written and produced and arranged. It was good, man. It was good. Danny played the shit out of the drums, and like I said, our strings were always super tight. Eric and Kiff were really, really good with each other.
I just wish, as a transplant, I missed this whole era, you know, because I didn't move to El Paso till 2010. But like, I love hearing these stories. I love this, like if I would love to get a copy of one of those CDs or some. Any chance you would ever put any of the old material on Spotify or just
No,
get out there?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think if we did anything, it would just be for ourselves, the local people, and nothing like that. I mean, it's very personal.
Gotcha.
Because a lot of the stuff was at the time where the band itself was going through a little bit of a bump in the road. Like I said, we went through 4 drummers, and things weren't panning out like we were wanting it to be. We had a lot of talent, and we had a lot going for us, but egos. Me in particular, myself, at the time I was a fucking raging drunk. And I would binge and get all stupid and do stupid things, and you know, it's just you're young and you're playing in California and Hollywood, and you're playing in front of people that don't know who they are, who you are, and get blown away the first time they see you, and it kind of gets weird. That's how it was, man. I was a big bullshitter and a drunk and pissed off a lot of people and burned bridges, and I did a lot of fucked up things back then, you know, things that I wish I could take back, but obviously, you know, it's impossible, but you learn from them and you grow from them, and I think that particular period of my life brought me to where I'm at right now. I always said I would always be in the industry. If I'm not on that stage, I will still be a part of it somewhere.
Oh, you definitely are.
You know,
I mean, you are the El Paso music scene. I said last night on with Big and them. I mean, with Rockhouse for to go away tomorrow, this town's done as far as.
I wouldn't say that. I would say that it's a lot different from the time when we were coming up, and back 25 years ago. The scene is completely different. There's so much talent here in El Paso.
That is true.
I mean, it's insane. It's insane how much talent's here. It's just not that same vibe as it was before. Because before it was, you would see everybody at your show supporting. And then that band that played that night knew that those guys in the audience were playing on the weekend. So everybody went out to support that show.
That's awesome, man.
And they wouldn't go just to go for that one band and bail. It was a support system, man. Everybody supported each other. It was big. It was monstrous. It was a great time to be a part of the music scene in El Paso. And it's a shame. It's I don't want to put it in a disrespectful way, and I don't want to sound disrespectful, but it is a shame that we don't have that now. We don't have that camaraderie. We don't have that brotherhood. We don't have that support like we had before, where everybody was out to help each other out and pick each other up and push each other forward. You know, it just kind of seems like now it's just like you're a very talented band. You play a show and you have your fan base, and you get put on a bill with their fan base, and you get put on a bill with another fan base. It's not everybody coming out to see the group of bands that are playing. They're there to pick who they're there for, and then as soon as that particular band's done, ghost.
Yeah,
They're not there. They're not there to support the whole show in general. They're just there to support their people or whatever. And it's really bad when the bands make it obvious. It's really bad when the band knows that they're going to bring that group of people and it's going to fill up, but just for them. Because as soon as they're done, they pack up and they're gone, and everybody's gone with them. So it's sad that that band doesn't have that.
like the instilling, I guess, the mentality of those values. I mean, support the scene, show love for your
The
fellow.
respect.
Yeah, exactly.
It's sad that they don't have the respect for the others. If everybody would join in and be on that level with each other, this scene would be huge, and there would be a lot of noise in the scene, and there'd be a lot of people looking at this music, all these bands in the scene. But because of that particular thing of lack of respect for one another, I think that's what holds this place down.
Especially different genres in those, because when I run my little small shows when I used to, I mean, I used to make the comment El Paso, you either have five shows in one, you either have five shows one weekend or you have nothing, and it's gotten more balanced now. But it's like it's the scene or is kind of splintered.
It is.
Like if you book, okay, for example, like Trash Baguette or Minor Zoology, great punk bands, they'll bring in crowds, but it's totally different people. You won't. I mean, you have people like me who will go to different ones, but you don't have a lot of crossover. I mean, you'll get maybe a handful of people here and there.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think that's what we try to do at Rockhouse is we try to piece different genres of music with different genres of music. That way everybody kind of sees what's going on the scene, you know what I mean? You mix punk with metal, you mix uh, 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 dooms with metal or death metal or whatever, you know what I mean? It's I want to make it to where everybody sees all the genres out there because there's some fucking killer bands, man. There's some really killer bands here and from Mexico.
Yeah.
Juarez.
I just mentioned last night that band Divide from Juarez. They were badass.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I mentioned this, previously. You invited me to judge of the Road to Walk, and thank you. I was very honored. That was a blast.
Absolutely, man.
But like, thank you. That band Divide, they came on second. They were freaking awesome, dude. Like I'd never seen them before.
I agree, man. And they were introduced to me by Jay. Jay's the bass player filling right now for Fear Factory. Jay Aguilar. He plays with oh my god, Storm. Oh, I can't believe I forgot the name, man.
It'll come to
With
me.
Andre
Oh, Stutterstorms. That's
There
right.
you go.
Oh yeah, they are awesome too, by the way.
I'm sorry, my brain is just chemical right now.
You said Andre, and it triggered me.
Yeah, and that's another killer band, man.
And they're trying to go on the road.
Exactly, dude. And that's another killer band. And there's so many badass bands, dude, that they don't get the love, man. And it sucks.
And there's a lot of badass bands that don't play enough, like Andre and the Scatterstorms. They're awesome.
But
Sluthammer and guys like
the way
that.
I see it is that you don't want to over
True.
saturate yourself. You want to nitpick what you play because you want to make people remember who you are. Because if you remember Fear Factory and you remember Scattered Storm opened up for Fear Factory and Divide did, well, Divide didn't, but I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the fact that you want that crowd to go like, now they're headlining.
Yeah.
So now we're going to go support that headlining show. And then you want to let them wait. So they get this anticipation and this build up for the next one. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, I know everybody wants to play, and I know a lot of bands want to get out there and they just want to play wherever. So they're playing at these little bars and they're playing at this other stuff. And God bless them, that's awesome. But it kills what you are trying to accomplish. It kills what you're trying to build.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a kick-ass fucking band, you know you're a kick-ass band. You know you have that power to go up on stage and floor everybody. So why not wait and give them that anticipation of waiting and oh, finally, here they come, they're going to fucking play. And then pack the house and watch how amazing the band is and how much the responses that you get from the crowd. And it's not, you know, it's just weird, man. I guess it's not how it used to be, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. You know,
Tim, the last time you gave me advice, good advice usually. I'm not going to mention the band's name, but hey, if you keep booking these guys, I'm not going to book them because they're playing too much. And you were absolutely right.
I have to do that sometimes, man. And it's not because I'm trying to disrespect anybody. It's just the fact that if they're scattered all over the city, what are they bringing to the table to my place? Because they played 2 nights before at another place and packed the house. Nobody's going to want to come see them over here now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like they got their fill that night, so now they can go off to another place and watch some other people, or go to another club, or go to a bar and just hang out and drink. They don't have to come to Rockhouse and watch the same regurgitated bands over and over and over and over. And that's something that I'm trying to get away from. Is I'm trying to make it a diversity as far as I want all types of music in Rockhouse.
You always said that. You said every venue should be every genre.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm trying to achieve that goal because now we're just labeled as the metal bar of the Southwest. We've had bands that have come in that are national touring acts that have said, "You guys are like the Whiskey A Go Go in LA of Texas, or the CBGBs of the Southwest. That's what you guys are known for. People talk
awesome,
about you guys all over the place. You know, I was in Houston last night. People were saying, "Where are you guys headed to?" Oh, Rockhouse, wow, you know, and it was like, wow, really? You know, it's cool. It's very cool. But I want to be that place where if you are a country band that's driving through and you want to play on a Wednesday night and you hit us up and that night is free, I'm gonna put you on that stage. I'm gonna put you on that stage and I'm gonna try to pump you guys and I'm gonna try to bring butts in the seats and I'm gonna try to get some local country guys to give you support that's gonna make you go home and go like, that fucking place is badass to play. You know, I had Exodus in November. Gary Holt told me personally, this reminds me of us coming up. This club reminds me of the clubs we played at as we were coming up, because we're going to have a killer time tonight. This is going to be fun. And what happens? They blew the fucking roof off of that place. Whether it was fucking 15,000 people or 700 people, they fucking blew the roof off of that place. I've had people tell me, like, how do you get these bands? I go, don't get them. They come to me and they add, the other booking agents are like, are you guys available on this night? I have this band. Zach Wild was one of those bands. He was going to be parked in his tour bus in a fucking hotel parking lot and said, fuck no, I want to play. Find me a place to play in El Paso because we don't want to fucking wait. It was their day off. And sure enough, the booking agent hit us up and goes, you want Zach? I go, oh, what?
And that was
Zach
incredible,
Sabbath?
man.
Zach Sabbath? And yeah, he won. I'm like, fucking A. And we negotiated the guarantee. And there you go. He's on my stage.
See, I didn't know he did clubs somewhere. I worked for, I did a local crew for a club show him back in 2000 Virginia. And I've seen him a couple times opening for Guns N' Roses. But like, when I was like, oh, dude, he's doing clubs again. Holy shit. Like,
Yeah, and it was, and it's sad that you still get those people that are like, it's gonna be a rock house? That fucking place is too small. They don't realize that it's not about that, man. It's about the fact that I'm gonna have Zach Wild on my stage. And you are gonna bitch about it? You know, it's just, it's insanity, man. It's insanity, dude. If people would spend less time practicing their guitars, drums, bass, vocals, if they would spend more time doing that, if they would spend more time supporting clubs like myself and all these other clubs like Lowbrow and all these other places that are fucking bringing in live music, our scene, the world, and everything about it would be a better place.
yeah. And as it builds up, you get more Zach Wilds, you get more Nita Strausses.
I,
You know?
I can't agree with you more about that. It's just people have just entirely lost their sense of respect for you doing what you do, for me doing what I'm doing, for the bands that are getting up on the stage to do what they do, even just your local mom and pop places for being around for 35 years doing what they do.
Those are most important.
Those are the most important, man. Locally, in our economy locally, it's sad that people cannot continue to support local. I've seen it just slowly decrease.
But it should be that way for everything, not just music. Like me, I don't go to Starbucks, I go to 210, you know? I want to
Exactly.
support the local bar, support the local coffee shop, the local business, you know? Don't go to Kinko's, go to your local flyer dude who does them, you know?
I agree 100%, man. And it's gotten to the point where, you know, if you don't feel that you want to support people like that, then you're killing them. You're taking away everything that they've ever done in life to get to where they're at right now.
Yeah.
It's not very good for, especially here in El Paso, man. We having traveled and seen different cities and being a part of different cities, I see the segregation in big cities. I see this how people separate each other from each other, and
Yeah, that sucks.
we're like a one big goddamn melting pot. I don't care if you're black, Chinese, yellow, green, pink, yellow, blue. I don't care what you support. I don't care what you believe in. I don't care what your pronouns are. I don't give a shit about any of that. When you step into Rockhouse, you're stepping into the family.
Exactly.
We're a family circle. You're stepping into everybody getting along with everybody. That's why you and I'll say this a million times. That's why you never see shit go down in that place.
Never once.
You never see the bikers fighting the metalheads. You never see the crazy ass hardcore guys that are kicking and bashing and throwing their kicks and flips and all that, fighting, like physically fighting with people and getting all crazy. They might get rough. They might throw some people around. They might get in each other's faces a couple of times. But
That's
I
the
don't
mosh
have
pit,
the
though.
police outside of my club.
But that's the mosh pit. If you don't want to be the mosh, you just step back and everyone leaves you alone.
Exactly. I don't have a violent place. I have a place where people feel welcomed. My staff is super fucking respectful to everybody. I always tell my guys that if you let these guys go, it's a controlled chaos. When you need to step in, you know when you need to step in. But if you leave them alone, by the end of the night, everything's over. There's no fights. There's no bullshit. But you have to police everybody every once in a while. That's obvious. But I'm not known to be that type of place where you're going to get hurt. I'm not the place where you're gonna go in there and somebody's gonna get drunk and be an alpha and want to beat your ass.
Yeah.
It's just it doesn't happen.
And you've had band, like we had band leaders in the night. They're cool as shit, man. They don't fuck with anyone. They didn't even buy you a shot. You know, like,
I agree, man. I agree. And it's just you show people respect, they show you respect. It's not I don't know, it's just maybe people just know how I am. I just don't put up with bullshit.
and plus it's the respect. Like you have people like me and Vega. Like I wouldn't let anything go anyways. Like if I see something a little sketchy, like I remember one time, like I'll do a double take. Like what the fuck? Like okay, never mind, we're good. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
us who have love and respect for the place. I mean, because my mentality is like there's a girl that night, you know, she was kind of stumbling. I was like, hey man, are you okay? Do you want me to call you an Uber? You know, and like Marlene was already on top of it. I didn't see that part. She'd already been on top of it. But as much as like this is my favorite bar, this is my home away from home. Like I don't want someone come along and fucking this up. So that's how I say we police ourselves. Like
And that is 100% true because everybody watches each other's back in that place. Everybody has my back as far as my staff, but also my customers. So they all see if something goes awry, if something's happening, they're quick to get up and go and take care of it. You know, they're not going to let anything bad happen. And I think that's the mutual respect that everybody sees and realizes that we're a no bullshit place. We're not gonna let you get fucking hammered off your ass until you're on the floor puking all over yourself and have everybody at your table the same way. And no, we're gonna be the type that's gonna cut you off respectfully, ask you if you need a ride home or an Uber home because we pay for it to get you home safely, or we'll take your keys and let your friends come get you. That is how we are, man.
and in reality, that's how all bars should be. But sadly, that's not the case.
No, it's not at all.
I mean, I just love. Remember, I'm not drinking anymore these days at the moment, but I remember when I would just come to Rockhouse and day drink and just pick your brain all day. And you, I mean, at the time, you barely knew me. You would just impart all this knowledge about your past experiences and wisdom and what to do and what not to do. Just like you've been a treasure trove of knowledge for me, and I always appreciate that. I mean, you always share. You could have been in your office, like doing your taxes or whatever, but no, you were just him, just entertaining, just being a friend.
It's funny. It's funny, man. I kind of get a chuckle out of it. Everybody says that I'm like, they look at me and I look like an asshole. Or I come off as an asshole or arrogant or whatever. And when you finally when you finally understand me and talk to me, you're like, holy shit, I thought you were just something totally different. I'm like, you don't give me a chance. How do you want me to be? You know what I mean? I'm not the type that's gonna come up to you and go, hey, how's it going? You know, and shake your hand unless I know you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And you will.
And I will if I know you. Absolutely, 100%. I will welcome you with open arms. But if it's somebody I just don't know, I'm not gonna be that guy. You know what I mean? And I think that's why people think that I was kind of that way when they would look at me because I'd just be walking right by them. I didn't say hi or anything like that. But
When you have dive bar open up on the west side, I remember my mom and stepdad came in town. We came in a couple times. Like you had just walked in and you came in and started talking to my family, this and that. Like you made my mom some nachos, and she's still raised about this shit like a year and a half later, dude. Like she'll check on me. Oh, hey, how's Matt? How's Matt? Like I'm okay too, mom. By the way.
yeah, that's super cool, man. I hope that our lasting impression when we're not here anymore is that we left something for the up and coming people to understand and respect that it was started for a reason and it's continuing for a reason. Because when I'm gone, Rockhouse will still be there.
Yeah.
100%.
But you ain't going nowhere, dude.
Well, you never know. But if anything, God forbid, if anything were to happen, it will be there. Rockhouse will be there 100%. And it will continue the legacy, and I will be in there haunting every motherfucker in that place. You know, trickeries, and I'll have a big old shrine of me behind the bar so everybody walks in, they can see my dumb ass back there. But honesty, I think that's what established us is the fact that we respect people. We take care of people and we respect people, and that's another reason why this thing with Kim, Kiff this weekend with this benefit, I wanted to do something because I know they didn't need it. They don't need something like this. But I always
I think we need it more than he does, dude. Honestly.
that's what I'm saying. I think it's gonna be another one of those days where everything's gonna hit you again
Yeah.
because it's about him and what we're doing for him and the family, and I think that's gonna be another one of those days where it hits everybody once again. But the guy deserves it.
He does.
He is a staple in the music scene here in El Paso. He was loved and respected by countless fucking
Everybody
people. That guy was just genuine. He had a big heart. He went out of his way for people that you don't even understand. I've known him all my life, like I said, my whole adult life anyway. And I know things that people don't know about him that he's done for others. And that's just the way that guy was, man. He secretly did things for people. And when he had it, when he got it all, he never changed. He was always humble. He always was a kidder. He was always a joker. He always, and that's why I think if anybody deserves this, it's definitely Kiff.
Yeah.
Definitely Kiff.
Like you said, I said this before. He would, when I was starting out, just barely learning bass, doing like little open mics on pagers. Him and Beg were there. He always be there to give me feedback, like, you need to do this, don't do this. He would. And when I had that original band, briefly, same thing. He was always there showing support. And I met him like I want to say it was 2018. I don't know nearly as long as any of you guys, but I mean.
And you guys got the mellow version of him. I got the rager of Kiff. I got the fucking get drunk off your mother effing ass, sun blaring on me passed out on the side of the house. Kiff. And he'd kick me and wake me up and say, let's continue, let's keep partying. He did his thing, and man, we would raise hell getting kicked out of bars like the Brass Ass and
You actually know that one.
Yankee Stadium because we were just hellraisers. We do stupid shit, get drunk, and do dumb things. Him and I, when we got together, when we went on the road, I remember we were in. This is a funny story. I don't even know if I should be telling this, but you might want to edit this one out later.
It's up to you, man. It's all fair game to me.
If you listen to it. We played this club called the Mason Jar. I think it's what it was called, the Mason Jar back then. And it was the premier rock metal bar in Phoenix, Arizona. And the promoter of that night took us all, I don't know if it was a promoter or a bar manager or somebody from the club took us to a swinger bar after we finished playing. And we went in there and I didn't know where we were, man. I had no idea. Danny knew right away what we were getting ourselves into. I think Eric was asleep in the RV. But me and Kiff walked in there and right away we went to the bar, got our drinks, whatever, and then we saw staircases and we went up the staircase. And 20 minutes into this escapade, we're looking in windows and now we're realizing where the fuck we are and what we're doing, and holy shit, man, it was, I'll leave it at that. It was just insane. I went downstairs and he came downstairs in his goddamn boxers, dude. And I was just like, oh no. But yeah, we We did some stupid shit, man. We would disappear into people's places that we didn't even know. You know, we go, yeah, let's go after hours. And like we didn't even know these people. We just go to their house and like, who the fuck are you? You know, we're just the band from Texas. We're just here to drink and hang out, you know. And man, it was good times, man. Good times. And then we all kind of went our own separate direction, man. I did culinary school and did my own thing, and Kiff did his own thing. He kept playing and doing his software stuff and all that good stuff. And this was after Eric passed away. I think he played in another original band called Jezebel's Eden. That was a really good rock and roll band. That was from El Paso too.
Yeah, we were trying to come up with all the different bands we knew that he played in. It was like I know Hate Campaign, Abaddon, was it Murder Code Off one never really took off, and then he was in another cover band I know, or at least one that I know. I know he was probably in several, but
Jezebel's Eden was a rock and roll band, hard rock and roll band that was here at the same time. Well, he started playing with them after I think Eric passed away. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, I think after Eric passed away, he was playing with those guys. Hey, we were all bands that would just all hang out and party and just kind of do each other favors and play gigs with each other and do all that stuff. And Eric and Kiff was, Kiff was in all the bands, man. He just loved playing music. He just wanted to play. He didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Covers or originals. Dude just wanted to play.
Yeah, man, he's like almost like with us, like I say he's like the big brother slash uncle. It's like dude, it's like he's like the anchor, like the focal point, tying all so much shit together. Like
yeah. But, yeah, man, it's fucking crazy. I had people reach out to me from San Antonio and Austin, and once they found out Kiff had passed away, sending condolences and stuff because we raised some hell. We did some cool stuff. They all remembered it.
Yeah, well, I mean, the band ended in 2001, and people are still talking about it to this day. I mean,
how crazy is that?
Because I wasn't even here in El Paso. I remember, I'm going to say it was 2021. I could be a little off, but I was at Rockhouse, and Chris was telling me, just brought up Hate Campaign and that, and he was talking about you, and showed me the KLAQ things on YouTube. And I'm like, wait a minute, oh shit, that's Ken. And I know after Ken passed, he was posting all kinds of old photos and flyers. And
yeah, we had some good times, man. Playing, I remember we played backyard parties. We just throw them ourselves. We didn't give a fuck. We just like, we're gonna have a fucking party. We're gonna throw a backyard party. Hate Campaign's playing. We played the brass hat. You couldn't even move in that place. I mean, it was insanity. It was so crazy that night, man. I don't even know how the hell we pulled it off without getting in trouble. The cops busted it. They broke it up. I think we were like 4 songs into the night, and they came in and said, "Nope, that's it."
Was it noise or fire code or was it everything?
Well, you cram about fucking 100 people in a spot that's only capacited for 40 people.
Yeah.
I mean,
that place was tiny.
It was just that's how it was, man. It was crazy. And I think we did like 4 songs or maybe 5 songs, and then they came and shut us down.
That's crazy, man.
And old Kiffy was mad. He was outside pissed off at the world. And I went out there to try to calm him down. He told me shut the fuck up. And I told him shut the fuck up. And then he's like, shut the fuck up, I'm gonna beat your little ass. And I'm like, beat my little ass. And we've been drinking and nothing happened. We just barked at each other a couple of times, and then that was it.
I don't think I've ever seen him angry before, dude.
No, that night he was angry. He was angry. He was pretty peeved off because I was drunk and I was being belligerent and being stupid, and he was out there mad because they cut us off.
So any other venues you played back in the day that you remember or fond memories of?
Club 101 was always fun. E9 was always fun.
Now, where was 101? I know 101, that place. On the time I've been in El Paso, that place moves a lot. Like, it kind of pops open and then shuts down. That pops
the time
up
when
again.
we were playing in 101, it was downtown. It was a downtown location. So it was 101 on the corner of San Antonio, I think. And right behind it was an alley. And then there was E9. Joe Dorgan owned both places, so you'd go like through the alley and go right into another kick-ass club.
That's cool.
And like back then he was the dude, man. He was the dude that was bringing all the fucking bands and the music and.
So he booked a lot of dance suits. I know he's known for his DJing and
Oh,
I think of him in '80s dance night. That's what I think of when I think of 101. But I know you guys played.
Joe Dorgan was the dude, man. He was the one that would bring all. He brought Pantera to El Paso, to Club 101.
Like back in the
He brought 9 Inch Nails to Club 101. I mean, he did shit that was like what I'm doing now was like nothing compared to what he was doing. You know what I mean? I do some really cool stuff and I pull some out of my ass. But Joe was like White Zombie, Marilyn Manson, fucking Testament, all these fucking killer bands. Joe was the dude, man. He was the main man, man. He's the one that I would say he was the one that kind of started it. And at the time, I was working for the production company that would do all the sound and lights for all these shows that he was bringing in.
Nice.
So I had a free ticket every time because we were the ones that were doing all the PA and production for these concerts. And yeah, he was Joe. I have mad respect for Joe. Joe was the dude, man. He's still the dude.
He's still back at it. Yeah, 101 in the living room.
Yeah, he's still the dude. It's pretty awesome that he can continue what he started back fucking 25 years ago.
Honestly, you gotta go to 101 at least once because I guarantee you'll get 2 or 3 good stories that night. Just the vibe he draws and the people. Just you'll get a funny story or two easily. You just gotta
Well,
go
it's funny. Joe and I were gonna do something together at one time. And unfortunately, it just didn't pan out. But
we had him in DJing a few times. I know during COVID. I remember you had him.
Yeah. He was doing some stuff there. But like we had actually sat down and discussed doing business with each other, and we were going to do something, and unfortunately, it didn't pan out. But it's good to see that he's still doing what he's doing, man. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's cool that you still have another platform to see live music.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, it's like to see multiple venues bringing multiple genres. Like if we'll bring in a rock band, or I know he's more of the dance DJ type, but I know he brings in some bands and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think he's dealing with some outside promoters as well, so that helps too.
Absolutely.
I mean, like I said, I see bands that play Rockhouse, and I see bands that are playing 101 in the living room that have played Rockhouse.
Yeah.
So it's cool, man. I mean, I've seen bands that are playing Vincent Mellows or whatever that place is called. It's a new place on the Far East Side.
Is that on Zaragoza?
I think so.
Oh yeah, I saw a flyer. I don't know the name of it, but I know.
It's a draft house, and it's a pretty cool one. I heard. I have not been there because I don't really go anywhere anymore. But it's cool that they're bringing music. They've got some bands that are doing like dudes that are doing like punk shows and metal shows and black metal shows, and it's fucking great, dude. It's amazing that as long as people keep doing that and at least the support is there, man. It's fucking badass, man.
Yeah, like you said, it's all about the support. It's like it's not like Matt versus so and so or me versus you. No, it's like we're all
absolutely. And I get promoters all the time asking me if they can do shows at Rockhouse, and I'm like, fucking hey, let's go. I'm not a one trick pony. It's not just about Rockhouse. It's fucking let's go. Bring whatever you want, black metal, death metal, whatever. You got a band that you want to put on that stage, and you want to come in and do the show, let's do it.
Yeah, hip hop last year at Onyx. That was one of my favorite shows.
We had Onyx. I brought in Onyx last year. I brought in Twisted. I brought in who else did we bring in?
Did you have Bone at one point?
We did Bone Thugs or whatever the fuck his name is. Sorry, no disrespect, but we did Bone. Yeah, like I said, man, I have 3 or 4 emails in my emails right now that are up and coming country guys that I'm going to be doing this summer.
Let's do it.
And that's what I said, they're like, they passed up the country bar to do our place.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? That must say something about what we're doing.
And there's a country crowd in El Paso. I mean,
there is.
That whole Tex-Mex, 2-step crowd.
There's a country crowd. There's an underground punk crowd here. That's very surprising. There's a really cool underground punk crowd here that comes to support the shows when I bring the punk shows.
Yeah.
There's always going to be the metal heads. There's always going to be the death metal heads. You still have
The snuff dudes.
Hairband crowd that loves when I bring in some of that type of music.
Like when I first, before I mentioned, when I first moved to El Paso, when I used to go to Speaking Rock, I mean, I didn't have much money to go out, but I'd go to the Speaking Rock shows. And Dawkins still draws like crazy there. Mm-hmm. Like modern bands cannot touch Dawkins like draw wise in El Paso. It's funny, it's hilarious.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. But it's people know what they want. You know what I mean? People know what they want and they understand what they want and they support what they want.
Exactly.
So I can't thank people more than I can put into words for everything that they've done for Rockhouse and the support for the shows that we do. And that's why we continue to do what we're doing. That's why we continue to keep bringing what we're bringing in. Because of that support, because of that love, because of that energy and that wanting that so bad and respect. It's just, that's why we keep doing what we're doing.
And you keep your prices good. I mean, a lot of people would say, oh, the ticket prices. I'm like, well, dude, it's $30 for like 4 bands. It's awesome. I mean, I have a friend, a mutual friend of ours, we'll remain nameless. Oh, back in the day it was $10. I'm like, well, yeah, but how much was gas back then? How much was a loaf of bread?
Well, I mean, and that's another thing. It's called inflation. If people understood what I used to bring in some of these bands for and what I'm paying for them now, they would understand why the ticket prices have to go up because they have to match.
No, but you're not compared to venues in Phoenix or Dallas. No,
yeah, but I mean, think about it. If you come and watch Zakk Wylde on stage in an intimate surrounding and you pay $35 for the ticket,
that's nothing, dude.
$35 to see Zakk Wylde up and personal in your face in an intimate situation. I mean, that's basically what it is. When you bring in these huge bands, like the Zacks and the Exodus and the Devil Drivers and all these bands that we're bringing in, you're basically watching these bands at a club level.
Yeah.
But they're playing like they're at a stadium level.
Yeah.
And you're paying fucking $35 for it. I mean, I don't know, man.
And for the most part, you can't always do it, but I know like 90% of the time or more, you have the hard copies available, so no fees, nothing.
I try to get that, but nowadays that's changed because the management, the agents, and the bands want everything online because they get fees for it. So they get their ticket price plus whatever's on top, you know what I mean? And that's what they get bonused out.
Yeah.
So when you go to settle the shows with these agents and management, they have everything right there in black and white with them. They know exactly how many tickets you sold, at what price, and how much is going to them and what's going to you. It's out of my hands, it's out of my control, but that's the way they want it. They allow me to have a certain amount of tickets that are hard tickets that I can sell after they sell X amount of tickets. Then they let me release what I can. It's just times have changed, man. It's really, really different now. Diesel fuel for the buses. They're not traveling with full productions anymore. They're not traveling with, 9, 10 people in the crew. We had, Zach. When we had Zach, man, he had 7 people.
Including the band?
Tour manager, 2 techs, and the band.
And that's Zakk Wylde. That's...
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's got to be...
And you're talking about Zakk Wylde, who's playing right now in front of 30,000 to 40,000 people a night with the Pantera shows. You're talking about Zakk Wylde that used to play with Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah. You're talking about Zakk Wylde that plays with Black Label Society in front of 5,000 to 7,000 people.
Well, even more than that, like I said, he does the opening, he's doing...
When he does the festivals, he does like stuff like that. But when he does the theaters and stuff like that, he's playing in front of 15,000 to 2,000 people.
Plus he put in Black Sabbath in that reunion.
Yeah, I mean, I will keep doing this, and I don't give a shit how much people talk shit about it, but I will keep doing it because I know there's other people out there, and they outweigh the negative. that love and respect what we do. And I will continue to keep doing this, and I will continue to be blowing people's faces off. Another thing I do that people don't understand that I do either is I know a tour is going to be announced. And I know my name is on that list, but I never get announced with it. There's occasions where we do get announced with the big packages and stuff like that, and it says El Paso or whatever. But there's times where we have to wait 2 weeks till we make our announcement. Prom, Boywad.
I saw that.
I just announced it. That tour was announced about a month ago. They just barely let me release it and announce it.
But Prom didn't know you from back in the House of Rock days. I remember you brought him in back, was it
Yes,
2012, 2011?
Crowbar.
Yeah.
It was Crowbar Prom.
Yeah, 'cause I remember right before COVID, I remember you had Crowbar was coming. It was like a Saturday or Sunday. I went to speak about it for Doc and Lynch Mob. And the following Sunday, you had Crowbar coming. And like 3 or 4 days later, that's when everything just shut down, the whole city.
Yeah. And another thing that people don't know I do, if somebody specifically sees a tour that goes out, YTR is a perfect example. The folk metal dudes from Denmark.
Yeah.
I got so many inboxes asking me to please pick up this show, please pick up this show, please pick up this show. What did I do? Well, what did I do? I reached out to the damn booking agent that was in charge of the tour, and I said, hey, you guys have an off date in between these two cities. You guys are coming in from San Antonio, or you guys are, which I don't remember what it was. Either they're coming from San Antonio or they're coming in from Phoenix. But they had a day off. I'm like, wouldn't you guys want to put some money in your pocket and play instead of sitting in a bus all day long? So people don't know that I do that. I'll bring you a show. If you ask me to bring you a show and I can, I will make every effort I can to try to bring that band so you can see them on the Rockhouse stage. I will do that. And I've done it many a times, and people see a tour announcement will come out, and they'll tag my name on it. And I'll look at it, and I'm like, oh, God, that's a far stretch. I don't know if I can do it. But at least I make that effort. You know what I mean? I do that. A lot of people don't know that I do that. A lot of people don't know that I do whatever I can to try to make people's, like, you know.
But I think people also have unrealistic expectations. Hey, bring in Marilyn Manson, bring in Rob Zombie. Come on, dude. Let's keep it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% on that. But if it's reachable, and I know I can at least make that effort because I know the agency that's booking that tour, and I know a lot of the booking agents in that agency, I will do my best to try to make it happen. I will try to do my best to make it happen. There's some things that are far reached, like I said, but there's a lot of things that I bring in that people don't know that I brought in because I reached out for somebody else.
Because I always remember, this is way before I knew you, the old House of Rock Viscount. You brought in, end of 2012, you brought in Hell Yeah. That was my first Hell Yeah concert.
Yep.
And I told all of 8 times before Vinny passed, but that was one of the best shows I remember. I was already a big fan of the band, but that started the addiction. Now I got a freaking tattoo on my arm. I got 2 Vinny Paul drum heads on my wall.
I was the first one to bring Hell Yeah to El Paso. I was the first one to bring in the Iron Maidens to El Paso.
Yeah. I remember at one point you told me you wouldn't bring it back because they're too expensive. Then you brought it back.
Yeah. I was the first one to bring the Iron Maidens to El Paso. Yeah, there's been several bands that I was the first one that brought them in, man. Mayhem. No, not Mayhem. I didn't.
Deicide?
No, Deicide it wasn't. That was just, you know. And it's really cool too that a lot of the bands really talk highly of Rockhouse. We've had shout outs on Sirius XM from Jose Mangan. He shouted out Rockhouse before.
Well, Elenia had your shirt on in the video, one of the guys, right? Elenia, one of the guitar player, had your shirt on in the video.
Yeah. I'm really good friends with Dave Shavari. Actually, he's my business partner in the bus company. We rent tour buses out to bands. So, you know.
Did you rent the next Cavalier this last time around?
Yeah. Max was in our bus. Brujerillo's in our bus.
You bought them like twice within like maybe like a year or so. Like, remember, I missed them the first time because I was.
Exodus was in our bus. We get some really big names, man. You'd be surprised who's been in our bus, man. We've had Erica Badu. She rented some of our buses. Yeah, we've actually we were a baby company last year, man, but this year we've got full books, man, which is really cool. Really fucking cool.
I just had an idea, man. Totally off topic, but I made a joke the other night about at Kiff's benefit. We also wear jorts and carry vape pens for the dispensary. You need to get the Kiff strand.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
that would be dope.
So I didn't mean to change topic. That just popped
No,
in my
no,
head.
that would be dope. It's crazy, dude. That's another thing too, man. Nobody knew about that guy. That guy could smoke so much fucking weed and cigarettes. It was unbelievable, man. God damn, I remember he would walk around with fucking at least 2 packs on him at all times. Marble Lights. That's all he smoked.
See, I remember the cigarettes. I remember the vape pen all the time.
He thank God stopped smoking it, and it was just a big pen. But that guy would smoke literally, 2-3 packs a day, man. It was insane. He smoked a lot. Smoked a lot of weed too. I don't know if he still did though. Was he still smoking?
I don't think he wasn't the vape pen. That was the joke. He'd always offer you the vape pen, and everybody's like, "Ken, I work for the government. Give me fire stuff."
That's probably what he was doing then. That's why I always had that thing with him around his neck.
Anything else you want to plug? Any of the bars or businesses or?
No, just I appreciate it. I'm very blessed and very thankful for everybody's support and continuing support, and looking forward to continuing servicing these amazing people in El Paso and keep bringing these kick-ass shows for you to see. Special shout out and thank you to my amazing staff at Rockhouse, my family, who have completely held it down since the big boss, the pit boss, I should say.
Yeah, B, Marlene,
Yeah,
Bunny,
I mean,
Hector,
Sean, everybody, and thank you very much for all your hard work and continued loyalty and support.
and again, this Saturday, Kiff benefit, Rockhouse doors at 6. Do you have the full lineup yet? Because I heard there's a couple of bands you had announced.
We unfortunately had one drop today.
Shit.
So I'm kind of waiting to see. We reached out to several other bands to see if we're going to be able to get them to play. But hopefully, I don't know. I guess there's this fucking ridiculous flu going around, and everybody's getting.
Yeah, because at the lock-in thing, was it Carries Are Dead? One of their guys had COVID.
Yeah.
I tried to run a show last month. I had 2 bands drop out because of COVID. And I don't know, Minor Producology, they did that show on Saturday, the one over at Zaragoza you're talking about, and they were supposed to play one-on-one last night, and they had a guy drop sick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's crazy, dude.
Yeah. So I stay in my little bubble.
Yeah.
I'm safe in my little bubble. I don't have to worry about too much stuff. I don't leave my little bubble.
And it's a nice club. I've been in. It's my first time seeing it.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right, so I guess that's it for now. See you guys Saturday again. Matteo, thank you for inviting me to your home and allowing me to do this podcast. And again, thank you for letting me judge walking. I can't thank you enough, man. You've been a great friend.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Endless wealth of knowledge, man. Thank you. All right, so we'll see you guys Saturday.